Hello. I recently, here in Georgia, it's kind of, there's kind of been this storm going on, this tornado watch all over the north of Georgia, so the storm's died down, definitely. The rain's gone, at least for now. It'll end at 11 o'clock officially. It's, 8:05, but, I think it's really gone. But anyway, I'm doing this video as a response to... It could be to some of you, but there's one YouTuber individual who has... she has asked me, or rather, told me some pretty valid complaint about my recent video. It was called "The Death of Christopher Hitchens and Kim Jong-Il." Now, I will... To you, Sarah 4HP, could you please tell me, because of the new YouTube changing changing the channels all over everywhere, which country are you from? Are you from America or not? How old are you? I mean, what do you believe? Are you an atheist or not? I just want to know. I'm just curious. Because, you use the word sin, and you say, I don't believe what you believe, so, I just like to know if you're an atheist or anything else. I want to say to everyone, but don't attack this young lady, please don't. She gave a very, honest from the heart, complaint, I don't know, but, maybe I should be like Obama and have a teleprompter, don't you think? So I won't be like, strategies in, yeah, he's not so good at it without a teleprompter, coincidentally. Oh no, I just offended a lot of people. Oh. How do you think I felt after George Bush was criticized as a Nazi? I'm sorry, I'll get to that later. Okay, here's what she wrote. Okay, I honestly, and Sarah 4HP, you're gonna probably wonder, why on earth are you saying my name? Well, it's on the comments, so for the video, and anyone who comes across it will see it. So, and they might criticize you, but I don't want you... But if you can do it, but I don't want you to be too harsh, okay? Please don't. I think this is a very nice girl at heart. Anyone who's for Harry Potter is a good guy, or girl. Okay, here's what she wrote. It was in 3 parts. Okay, ... I honestly adore you and your videos where you read Harry Potter to us very grateful Harry Potter fans. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I always do. However, I find your view on the world very, quote, narrow-minded, limited, and surprisingly judgmental. I respect and accept that you are religious, but not that you obviously do not have the same respect for those of us who do not believe. I accept that you are not a fan or supporter of Obama, but not that you chose to cruelly and deliberately attack him and everything he stands for, TBC. And I went on Urban Dictionary and found out that my assumption was correct. It means to be continued. Or to be confirmed, but to be continued was more likely. Part 2. To me, the most amazing qualities one can possess is an open mind, kindness, and respect for all people. Amen. As a Christian, of course, I believe in that. I believe being judgmental and allowing yourself to be ruled by an ugly combination of fear, ignorance, and hate towards those who are different is the worst sin of all. Exactly. I mean, I'm not that. There was no fear, ignorance, and hatred. I mean, I said, well, I'll explain it in the end. And if getting into heaven means possessing those traits and spending eternity with others who possess those traits, I'd rather not go there at all. I've spent too much time on the receiving end of that to ever go there. I am sorry if I hurt your feelings or if I come across as very harsh, but... Nothing breaks my heart more than to hear people being trashed, judged, disrespected, and openly hated for what they stand for. I mean, I don't care that most of your views do not coincide very well with my own. You're a Christian bisexual Republican, which is great. Everyone sees the world differently, as it should be. But how anyone could feel that they have the right to judge others will always be beyond me. Okay, I will answer that. Are you sure you weren't, minus the I guess you were thinking about me when you were writing that and accidentally sent it to me instead of going on to godhatesfags.com and sending that to them, you know what I mean? Sure you weren't talking about the Westboro cult in Topeka? Unfortunately, my uncle has to live near them and live in the same city as them. But, if you, here's the thing, is that, oh, I need my laptop. I want to put it back up. Wait. It'll come back up. I just want to go through these objections one by one. There aren't that many, so don't worry. You won't have to hear me talk so much. Okay, here it is. Narrow-minded, limited, and surprisingly judgmental. I respect and accept that you obviously have the same I accept that you have I'm not cruelly attacking him. I'm deliberately attacking his policies, what he stands for, and the thing is that I see no problem criticizing him. I mean, if any of you want to pull out the race card, you can do that if you want, but to me that's just kind of low. That's just low and not classy to me. I'm sorry, that's just how I think. That's not classy because I was raised in an anti-racist household. But while we're on the subject of cruelly and deliberately attacking him and what he stands for, can I ask all of you are probably hate his guts, and I'm not crazy about him as I was when I was younger, but why did you have to cruelly and deliberately attack George W. Bush? Why? I mean, a lot of people liked him. He had his own views. Why were you being so judgmental? I mean, come on, we got rid of Saddam, and I do mean this literally. He got rid of Saddam Hussein. We prevented Al-Qaeda from taking power in Iraq, and we secured women's rights to vote, and we brought some democracy into Iraq, and apparently broke a sort of icy relationship that had been there before the war started. But that's how I see it, and I'm glad that they're gone. They're out of Iraq. That we have one war down, one more to go. But why are you? While I'm comparing Obama to Obama's policies and calling them Nazi-esque, where were you guys, progressives, liberals, whatever you call yourselves, where were you guys when George Bush was in office? You were calling him a Nazi. Why? Because you're gonna stomp your feet and close your ears when you say this, but Glenn Beck said that Hitler definitely was on the right wing, extreme right wing. Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, and who can forget Fidel Castro were on the immediate far left, but they're pretty much on the same goal. They were for big government, and they were all on the. They would have been all on the left. But here's left and right. Glenn Beck showed. But Republican and Democrat, they're like this, but they just flip-flop on sides sometimes, depending on the times. The Democrats are now nearing the left. The Republicans are nearing the right. The Founding Fathers were on the right. However, they weren't on the anarchist right. And we've never been at that area since George Washington. And many Democrats, many of you guys, most of you guys think that many Republicans like me are fascists. And we don't understand why. You thought George Bush was a fascist. We wouldn't understand why. We all think Obama's a Marxist, socialist, communist, whatever, most likely African socialist. And you Democrats say, how can you think that? We shouldn't demonize a party too harshly. We can't just expect the worst out of each other. There are some good Democrats, and there are some bad Republicans. I side with the good Democrats, like Harry S. Truman, a Bible-believing Christian, Grover Cleveland, who was against redistribution of wealth, JFK, who recognized the government doesn't rule man, and, who else? I'll have to think about that a bit more. But my country of America has been, and possibly your country of America, has been in the disaster under the policies of Woodrow Wilson, in my opinion, under Woodrow Wilson, Jimmy Carter, Barack Obama. I mean, and combined, all of those could destroy this country. I know, I'm sounding hateful. I'm such an evil guy, you know? I'm not really a Christian, I'm just a hate monger. But, never mind. The guy's policies, this guy is the weakest president in the biggest spending president in the history of the Republic. You all have got to know that. I mean, bigger than FDR. I mean, FDR was big government, a big government-centered guy. And 9.8 dropping to 8.6% in unemployment, ironically, we can't blame Obama for that, not even Congress, because we can only blame the people, us, our money. Black Friday. I knew that Black Friday would be a healthy day for the economy, and it was. Dropped to 8.6%. That is good. That's probably why I got a job at the nearby Kroger. That's probably how. So, you know, we need another George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or Ronald Reagan. We need another one of those guys. But, I will go on. To me, the most amazing qualities one can possess is an open mind, kindness, and respect for all people. Yes, I respect all people. I mean, I may not like everyone, but I love everyone to pray for as many people as possible to know what the truth is, and to not be led by lies and deceit, not just in spiritual and religious matters, but in any kind. But mostly I was thinking of spiritual and religious matters, but any one of you who is deceived, trust me, even in spiritual matters, as far as I believe, the truth will come out in the end. It always does. It may not happen today or tomorrow. It will happen someday soon. I believe being judgmental, allowing yourself to be ruled. Okay. I'm not afraid. I am not ignorant. And first of all, I'm not afraid. Why? Because I wouldn't have had the guts to put that video up, that controversial video up. Because I have a friend who subscribed to me. He's an atheist. And he's an atheist. I love him very much. He's my, ex-boyfriend. But that's okay. Ignorance. Ignorance, that's a big one, because I've done my homework on this. That may sound offensive, but I've done the work. I have done research on these guys and known that Christopher Hitchens supports the policies of Karl Marx as much as Obama supports Marxian policies, and Kim Jong-Il does too. I'm not comparing Obama to Kim Jong-Il in a totalitarian sense, but the policies they advocated don't work. They don't work. Look at the Soviet Union. Where's Nazi Germany? Where is Look how well Vietnam is doing right now. Cuba, they're communists. They're doing terrible. Why do you think China's doing so well? It's beat Japan as number 2 in the world in the GDP because they're going to capitalism now. That's an undeniable fact. They're going to capitalism. It's not perfect. Like the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Well, the Constitution. Like the Constitution, capitalism isn't perfect, but it's the best system we've got. It's the best in the world. It works. It works enough. Hate. I don't hate people. I'm sorry. There's a worm in the basement. I'll be right back. See you, look, guys. I had to do that. You know, I can't just be classy all the time. I have to do this stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, slimy. Anyway, okay. That's some entertainment for you. Hatred. I don't hate people. I have said that I hated... Every person has said, I hate my mom, my dad. They've said to their parents, I hate you. I've said that too. I'm guilty. But the thing is, hatred enough to... I don't hate people. Hatred is a big word because hatred can encompass many things. Like, for example, I don't hate people. I love people. In fact, I want to love all people as much as possible, even men like Hitler or Kim Jong-Il. But the thing is that I hate what they do because in the Bible, despite what that Westboro cult teaches, every time I've looked up the word hatred on bluebible.org, something like that, which goes through Hebrew and Greek words as they were written in the Bible originally. Every time I saw hate in the Bible, it was always, in both Old and New Testament, it was always referred to a specific act or a thing, never a person. Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated. Well, hatred can also mean disfavor, and God so loved the world. I mean, how do you balance that? Well, obviously the context begs for context, interpretation, correct interpretation, I mean. Let's think Esau gave up his birthright for a meal, his God-given birthright for a meal, and God was displeased with him, he hated Esau for just abandoning his God-given birthright of being the heir to Isaac and giving that to his younger brother Jacob. So that's what hate means in that context in the book of Malachi. So no, I don't hate people. I don't hate them. And if you want to blame any of all this stuff on anyone, you should have blamed it on people like Christopher Hitchens and Kim Jong-Il, Richard Dawkins. They are the standards that you, Sarah 4HP, have listed, those would go perfectly with Richard Dawkins and the New Atheists. With all due respect, if you are an atheist and you do like them, I just don't know a whole lot what to say, but that I'm not. I mean, they constantly criticize what I believe, saying, "Look, you're." The best thing we can say about you, Jeffrey Erickson, is that people like you're deluded. I mean, you're conditioned. That's the best we can say for you. You're conditioned. You have something wrong with you. I thought this was a free world. I can believe whatever I want as much as you can. However, about the judgmental thing, I will get to that. I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. The worst sin of all, that's what makes me think that you may believe there's an afterlife. So I'm not trying to be a hypocritical judge. If you mean that, then I'm not trying to be that. But if you mean judgmental in particular, like criticism, then that's very different. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings or if I come across as very harsh, but nothing breaks my heart more. But like, hear people trashed judged, disrespected, and openly hated for what they stand for. To clear the record, isn't that kind of like unrighteous judgment? You know, you're giving me, you're blaming me for something that Hitchens and Kim Jong did. They criticized people for what they believe independently, and they said, look, you're stupid, you have to believe in what I say. You know, even Christopher Hitchens has said, you can believe what you want, but he comes across as being someone who is totally, he came across, because he's dead now, unfortunately, he came across as someone who just thinks he's better than everyone. He just looks at us, and he sees people like me, and he just looks at a child, an overgrown, college-level child, straight A student child. Then he might, and I was surprised to learn that he was influenced by Thomas Jefferson, and why he got his oath on the Jefferson Memorial, because Jefferson was one of the most religious founding fathers of the American Revolution. Oh, you're all going to say, no, he was a deist, he was an atheist, a secularist, humanist, a heathen. Shut up. Don't say another word. Look at his writings, and every other founding father signed in the year of our Lord. He signed it in the year of our Lord Christ. No other founding father did that. So, I'm sort of, the whole deist thing, I'm sort of skeptical on that. And it's okay to question the status quo. I mean, apparently it's a societal sin to do that, but I'm allowed to do that as an American, or as the last time I checked the Bill of Rights, I'm allowed to do that. But here's the thing. I respect you, Sarah 4HP. I love you very much. I will pray for you. It might sound stupid to you, but I will pray for you that you investigate what I've said. But the fact of the matter is that I was just saying what I believed, and I was saying it as delicately, as gently as I can. I knew by doing that video I would sound harsh, I would sound mean, but if you read Jesus' words, besides the social stuff like love your neighbor as yourself, do not judge lest you be judged, in a hypocritical sense, but there's more to that. He came here to not only teach us that, but he also taught us about faith in him. And the thing is about faith is that faith produces good faith. The right faith is the result of right living. And so when you look at people like Jesus, and in my opinion, he's a model for every man and woman and child, then the world would be better. If you looked at someone like Muhammad, with all due respect to a lot of the Muslims who are watching this, I love all of you too. You can say that I don't care, but I love you anyway. But if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be saying this. I would be claiming that Allah is allowing me to have sex with let's say, my stepson's wife, because she's so beautiful, I have to have her. This sexual warlord mantra that I get for him from the most trusted Muslim commentary, Sahih al-Bukhari, look it up, in the Quran itself, in the Hadith. Islam sort of promotes, the Quran presents a man-centered gospel. You know, what's in it for me, especially man, not woman and man, just man. What's in it for us guys if we, believe in you, Allah? Well, you got 72 virgins to have sex with forever in paradise. In fact, according to the Quran, most women do go to hell because they dare disobey their husbands. I mean, it's not so much about faith in Allah, it's about, works. And so, and Christianity is / Messianic Judaism. The Messianic faith of the Bible is an exceptional faith. It's a living faith. It is a reality. And I can't say, with all due respect, again, what atheism has done for the world, I can't say the same for that, because atheism and secularism has brought death and destruction. You'll point to the Crusades and Inquisitions and even the Holocaust, which was anti-Christian as much as the Crusades and Inquisitions. But those were hypocrites who filed into the Catholic Church, wanted power for themselves. In every one of those instances, man has used the church, sort of like what the Obama administration is doing with the churches in America today, promoting green agendas with the EPA, everything like that. During the Bush administration, the press went crazy, saying that he's violating separation of church and state. However, now that Obama's in office and his buddies like Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, and even Joe Biden are using churches to fund their programs in social justice, which is something that Hitler promoted. And let's be honest, candid, historically social justice has been used by Hitler and even by the Obama administration, and it ties in with black liberation theology, that there is an oppressed and an oppressor. Basically, for instance, the black people, every single black person in this, or in this case, in America, in the case of America, the poor of this country are afflicted. And people like me who are of the 1%, I'm an upper middle class person, yes, I will admit that. So to all you people who support Occupy movements, that means I'm an evil person. Can't wait to see your comments and what you have to say for yourselves. But you say that I'm an oppressor. I who give to the I'm an oppressor to you, the oppressed. For quite oppressors, me and my family are so evil that, how can we ever give to the Salvation Army? Why do we do that? Are we hypocrites? There, Sarah 4HP, you can judge me on that. But no, it's false. I mean, social justice, it doesn't work. I mean, claiming that there is always an oppressed and an oppressor. The poor are not oppressed. The parents are to blame. Definitely not the kids, but the parents are to blame if they screw up financially. I mean, I'm not just going to give you my cash. I will give to charity. Charity and redistribution of wealth are two different things. We have to remember that. I'm not hateful, I'm not judgmental, but as a Christian, I believe that what Jesus said, Jesus who said, turn the other cheek, love your enemies yourself, things you all believe. You all believe it. A lot of you liberals and progressives, you all believe in social Christianity, or support it at best. But he said more. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. No other human being has said that or can say that. Because that was a divine statement. I am, ego eimi in Greek, the Greek New Testament. That was a divine statement. And I'm not being judgmental. I'm not being hateful. If you want to call anyone judgmental, you can take it up with Jesus or God, his Father, spiritually, of course. Take it up with them. I didn't make up the rules here. They did. I've always wanted to say that for a long time. I didn't make up the rules. He did. And so don't blame me. I'm just obeying what's written. Do I have faith? Yes. But it's a good faith. It gives... You'll hear this again. It gives me purpose. It's a purpose-driven life. I want to give to charity, and I want to be as helpful as I can, and yet still be able to provide for myself. And so, I mean, I don't want people to go to hell. I want every single person to be saved. However, if you don't believe in Christ, in my opinion, you have no hope. There is no hope outside of Jesus. And if you're asking me, well, do Hitler and, that reminds me, all these man has used the church, and do you know what's happened to them? They've ended up dead, defeated, and hated forever. Why is that? Because it's like raping, the whore of Babylon is like raping the church of Christ, the bride of Christ. And God is very angry at this, and so he judges them for doing that. And so they've gotten their just desserts. So don't mess with the church. There's something supernatural about us. Every Jew and Gentile who is in the church, there is something supernatural hanging over our heads. So it would be wise to not mess with him, with God. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't advise it. But anyway, I'm not judgmental. I want as many people saved. However, not everyone will be, because they will choose whatever they want. Now, Hitler and Stalin, do they go to hell? And Kim Jong-Il, who starved his people to death and always told them what you have to eat, what you can't eat through the government, absolutely they all go to hell. But Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins, for their venom, they both definitely deserve hell. But you know what? I deserve hell too. Not because I'm a bisexual, not because I'm a Republican, not because I'm a conservative, because I'm a human being. It's because I'm flawed. I am sinful. I am a sinner. I am as guilty as a prostitute. I am as guilty as Christopher Hitchens. I'm as guilty as an idolater, a murderer, a thief, a liar. I'm as guilty as a drug user. I'm as good as or a communist or socialist, Marxist, whatever, a progressive. I'm as guilty as any one of those people, and you're all guilty. We are all guilty. However, there is a way of escape. The way of escape does not say continue sinning. The way of escape says that God, in His love, has come down in human form, taken our pain, taken our sins, thrown them away, pierced them to the cross, and just left them there to die, because that's where sin leads. It's death. And so, that's not, I mean, people are so hostile to that. Why is that bad news? Gospel, evangelion, the Greek word, doesn't mean bad news. That's not bad news. That's good news. That is such good news. I mean, I know I'm sounding like a fanatic here, but it's so radical and it's so beautiful. Not like what Jim Wallace and Barack Obama say, like, giving a mom in downtown Atlanta with 12 kids, your hard-earned money, and calling that neighborly, that's not right. And saying that because I don't support Obamacare, I'm going to support rapes and murders, adulteries. Since when was it the government's job to be the policeman of America? I know I'm sounding like Ron Paul, and I don't believe we should be an isolationist country like during the John Adams administration, but where the government doesn't need to be the policeman of our country. I don't want Obamacare. No one's asked me if we should become a Kenyan socialist country. No one's asked me that. I don't want to be that. If you want to be that, I ain't going down that road with you. I mean, you can bankrupt yourselves as much as you want, and if you want to pay every single penny from your bank account, go ahead and do that, but don't force Obamacare and redistribution of wealth on me. Don't force it on me or anyone else. Force it on George Soros, because he does deserve that for all his crimes against humanity. But and yet Obama still invites him to the White House. I don't know why. It's like inviting Adolf Hitler to the White House. Because he supported Hitler and betrayed his own Jewish people in Europe. He's a sick man. But these are my beliefs, and Sarah 4HP, I'm sure you're a lovely girl or woman, but you're criticizing me for being radical. But Christopher Hitchens was just as radical as I am, but on the other side. It was on the other side, but it was the same. I mean, it's radical in a good way, at least from what I see on my position. But the new atheists, ironically, who promote free thought, are the most intolerant people you can ever meet. I mean, it's very simple. You know, pick up their books, read the way they write. It's full of anger, the God delusion. God is not great. The end of faith, letters to a Christian nation. They're full of anger and just poison. I mean, it's not just fact. It's all from feeling. You know, I love every one of you, no matter what you believe. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, an atheist or a believer. I don't care. I love you all, and I thank you for watching the Harry Potter videos. There's still more to come, just for you guys. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy New Year, and whatever. And for you atheists and agnostics out there, Happy Winter Solstice out there. I really do love you all. Any questions or comments, but not too harsh, not too violent, but any questions or comments about why I believe and what I believe specifically, you can ask away. That's what the comments are for, and, you know, I love you all, and I can't wait to read to you again. And the storm has definitely died down, so I think I'll go out in a while. And tomorrow I have filming for my very first, or rehearsal for my first movie, which is an independent film called Santa's Boot Camp. It's going to be really, really, really fun. I think I'll be able to sing in it with a couple of people, some Christmas carols, Christmas songs. So it'll be fun. It'll be released in May at the Plaza Theater in downtown Atlanta, so it's going to be really, really cool. It's an experience of a lifetime, so it's going to be cool. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you all, even for those who don't believe.